it's day 3. Ended up seeing 9 deer yesterday. Didn't get any. Saw 2 so far this morning. Walking a trail. I'll be in here all day probably. I'm sitting down right now at a lookout over the river, just watching to see if anything comes down to the river. It's been a quiet morning. If you might notice, we have snow. We got 5 centimeters of snow overnight. And seeing a lot of tracks, fox tracks mostly, some deer tracks. I'm tired, I'm sore. I walked more in the last 3 days than I've walked in the last 6 months, I think. And I was walking for the last month trying to build up some walking strength, but I didn't do enough, obviously. So, still got 2 deer tags to fill. Hopefully we'll get at least 1 today. It's Tuesday, so we still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to hunt. The sun's out, so hopefully with the snow and everything, the deer are on their feet moving and trying to warm up. I'm gonna flip the camera around there and show you a view of the river. Just hang on a sec. This is what I'm looking at right now. It's the Gallio River on Anticosti Island. I think it's the second biggest river after the Jupiter, which is the big salmon river. I don't know if there's salmon in this river or not. There's a lot of trails in the area that come to this river or follow this river. So, the deer come down to drink and feed along the river too, so it's a good place to have your trails. The trail I'm on today follows this river for probably a good 5 kilometers and then sweeps inland a bit. There's 2 or 3 more spots like this where I'm going to come down to the river and be able to observe. So I'll just like, I've been here maybe 20 minutes now, and I'll probably give it a half hour and then I'll keep moving, and I'll do the same at the other stops. Stop for about a half an hour and watch, see what happens. Anyway, that's what I'm doing today. Hope you enjoy the sights, and I'll catch you later on in the video. Well, it's I just shot a deer, and I just got the camera out and I look up and there's, oh wait, there's the mother. I can still shoot her. Well, that's it. My hunt's done. I just shot this fella, the little spike horn, and I was getting the camera out to video it, and I look up and there's a doe and a fawn just right there at that pine tree, and they take off running, and there I just shot the doe just over there. So my hunt's done. So I'm gonna go grab that doe and haul her off into the field, into the trail. I guess once again I'm getting a doe and a button buck. I saw a 6-point about a half hour ago, but there was a fawn on the trail, and the fawn saw me and bolted, and it bolted directly in the direction of the 6-point. So about a minute and a half later, I come around the corner, and that 6-point's on full alert, freaking out. Comes face to face with me about 20 feet away. And the second I turned that corner, he was full speed into the woods. I honked at him to try and get him to stop, and nothing. So I never had a chance to get him. Now, where's that doe? I saw her fall. I never saw her get up. There's blood. But she's not here. Oh, here she is. The doe. She didn't go far either. She went down there, flopped around there, and here she is here. Well, that's good. I got my 2 deer within 30 seconds. And yeah, I'm satisfied with that. They're both about the same size. This doe's about the same size as the button buck. So I'm good. I'm gonna haul her out to the road, haul them both up close to each other, and empty their bellies. And I'll be on my way to the end of the trail, and hopefully the guide heard the shots and I'll be on his way with the 4-wheeler. So we'll check back after. I mean, she didn't go 30 feet and that buck dropped in his tracks because I shot him right in the throat. So I aimed for the chest on her, and that was that. There's a little deer on the road. That'll be my 9th deer for today. There he goes. Well, I got my 2 deer shot. They're both gutted, hidden underneath a tree. I left my pack there and my hat to mark it for the guide. He'll come in with the 4-wheeler once we hook up, and he'll come down and get them. I dragged them away from their gut piles, so if the abundance of fox they have here on the island decide to have something to eat, hopefully they'll eat on the gut piles and not my deer. But I walked all the way to the top of this trail. I walked back down, and I'm back on my way up. I've seen more deer back on my way up than I did the first time up and down. It's a good trail. I said I've seen 8 or 9 deer now. I think the problem is the way up the first part of the morning I left too early. I think this is a good trail, but I think you need to wait till about 10 o'clock to go after it. The deer don't seem to move here on the island too much until about 9 or 10 o'clock. Well, history repeated itself, because here's the way down to the lookout over the river. I once again got a button buck and a doe. I mean, I didn't have to shoot that doe. I could have waited for the later in the day or even tomorrow. But, you know, it's like here, there's fresh deer tracks in my old tracks from when I came up this morning and back down. So deer definitely have been moving on this trail, just not when I've been on it, except for when I shot the 2. I mean, I still had 3 days left to hunt. I could have waited, looked for a buck or a bigger doe, but the honest truth is my PTSD is acting up something fierce since last night. And all morning I've been depressed and just wanted to quit. I wanted to just walk out to the trail, head, sit down and wait for the guide to pick me up and just call it quits and not hunt at all. And even now, after I just shot the 2 deer, like, that's the reason I shot the doe after the little spike buck, because I'm just fed up. My stress is terrible right now. Like, I'm barely able to function. My whole body just wants to give up right now. I feel so weak. I feel so tired. I didn't even want to get out of bed this morning. I didn't even want to come out and hunt this morning. I just, for the price of what I paid for the hunt, I just made myself do it. I just couldn't not do it. But honestly now, if I could go back and tell myself in June how I'd feel while I was here, I'd tell myself not to bother. It's been an experience that I just don't want right now. I should have known better. I'm not able to function at home and hunt and do the stuff I want to do normally. I don't know what made me think I could come here and hunt effectively. Anyway, what triggered everything I started me down this path I'm on right now. Like, there's so many more deer tracks than I had here this morning. Like, here something just spun around and ran. You probably heard me talking. I'm not trying to be quiet anymore. What started it all off last night was we got pulled over by the wardens. They had their emergency lights on, sirens, and pulled us over. Then they wanted to talk to all of us out of the truck. They wanted to see all our hunting licenses. And I asked him to turn the lights off, and he was very accommodating. I told him why. He didn't argue with me or nothing. He did it. But it was already too late. I was already tore up. I mean, I held it together to show him my license. We got in the truck and I sat back in the front seat and they started driving, and I damn near had a panic attack. I was crying. I was clenching my fists so hard. My fingers hurt this morning. Just trying to not flip out. It was like the guide and the guys I'm hunting with, you know, we went over this stuff and I told them, you know, why I'm not working and what's going on, and I think they would have been okay with it if it would have happened. It wouldn't have been a surprise, but I just don't know. I don't think if I would have let it go to the point where it would have been that bad, if I couldn't have held it in, I'm sure this morning I wouldn't have wanted to come out and hunt at all. Oh. There's part of the trail's bad, that's all. Mud that wants to suck you in right there. I'm going to pause the video to jump down this. I need both hands, and we'll keep talking after. All right, I made it to that sketchy part. I'm going to keep going. It's probably about another half-hour walk to where the meeting point was. And he said if he heard gunshots, and he was sure that came from my direction, because he's basically hunting with the other guys like that way a couple of miles, that he would head straight for my direction. I'm so tired. Everything's just falling down. I'm walking on the backs of my pants. And I'm just wasted. I'm just so tired and wasted. Anyway, that's the end of the story. My trigger of emergency lights went off. It put me in a bad place last night. I woke up this morning still there. I forced myself to come out and hunt. And now I've hunted. You know, it's too bad I didn't get that 6 point. The little fawn had busted me, ran right at him. I'm sure if that fawn wouldn't have been there, that 6 point wouldn't have been as on alert, and would have come right out to the trail by the time I got there. And I think I would have had a shot at him, but anyway, that's life. One guy in our group on night one got a really nice wannabe 10 point. It's an 8 point with two little nubs that aren't big enough to count as points. So hence a wannabe 10 point. And I heard another shot this morning over towards where they're hunting. So one of them probably tagged out a deer as well. But if one of the other two is missing a deer, when we meet up in a few minutes there, I want to tell them to come walk down here, because it's just tracks over tracks now. Tracks that weren't here, tracks in my old tracks. Oh well. Anyway, I want to end this video here. I've lamented enough, I guess. I'll go back to the camp, hopefully for the afternoon, and I'll have a couple beers, something to eat, try and relax. And that'll be that. Anyway, I hope everybody's enjoying my videos from Anticosti. They're going to be a couple weeks late getting put up because there's no internet here and I don't have my laptop to edit, so nothing will get done till I get home on the 31st. And even then I'll probably take a day to relax before I do anything. Oh, there, I'm at the intersection where it loops back out to the road. So I'm going to leave yous off here. I'll probably make more videos later in the week. Make a nice little series out of it, and you know, the flight home and all that. So thanks for watching. Hope you were enjoying the content. Tell your friends to subscribe. Oh yes, and I almost forgot, this hunting trip is unofficially sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith, Denis Chouinard Gunsmith in northern New Brunswick. It's where I buy my stuff. He does Cerakote custom jobs. You have a logo, he can Cerakote it onto your rifle or shotgun or whatever you want. Just look him up at armorydcgunsmith.com and for all your hunting needs. You can also order powder primers and any kind of firearm you want, and you can get it. You can also do repairs and custom work, muzzle brake threading and such. So thanks, Denis, for the free hat. I have some blood on my face, eh? And here's a plug for you for YouTube. Adios. Well, I walked till the trail dead-ended at the river, and I never found where it connected with the road where I was supposed to meet the guide. So I've turned this around and came back to my deer. I fired off 4 rapid shots in hopes that the guide would hear it and come get me. But if not, at 4:30 he's supposed to come in the trail and look for me. So if I'm not at the road. So that's not too long from now. It's about a half hour from now. So I am probably going to stay here until the guide shows up with the 4-wheeler. I'm exhausted. It's been 3 hours since I shot the deer. It took an hour and a half to walk till the trail ended and an hour and a half to walk back to the deer. So I'm just going to stay here now and wait and get a drive on the ATV. Okay, I'll let you know when he gets here.